Hello guys, and welcome to episode number 36 of my Football Manager 2023 European Journeyman save. You join us here in our second season in the Republic of Ireland. You may notice that we've actually stayed with a team that we've got promoted this time round. We are still the manager of Bohemians. We've had quite a busy summer. There's been quite a few outs. There's also been quite a few ins as well. I did have a quick look at the season preview before I signed anybody, and even in the season preview we were predicted to finish second in the league behind Shelburne, quite some distance behind Shelburne in the odds, but we have managed to close that gap in terms of the odds from the bookies to make it possibly quite a close run season. We could possibly tick an island off after 2 seasons, which would be absolutely fantastic. It would be really, really good. We'll have a quick run through of what happened towards the end of the last season. Obviously, you saw us pick the title up pretty early on. We did finish unbeaten in the season. We didn't lose a single league game. The only defeat that we had all season was a penalty shootout defeat to UCD. We did have a couple of draws across the season, but we did go on to win the Senior Challenge Cup as well, and that has actually qualified us for Europe. I believe it somewhere on here. It doesn't actually say it at the minute, but the winners do qualify for Europe. So if we have a quick look at the Irish Premier Division, have a look at the season preview. We are in the UEFA Europa League. We're into a playoff on that. You can also see here the season odds, just how much we've closed that down. Now, we were 15s when the season first ticked over. I hadn't signed any players at that point, but we've got it down to 2.75, which is obviously going to make the season a close run thing. Potentially a 2-horse race. Shamrock Rovers are some way behind. The team who were promoted with us, Galway United, are 601. So we've really got the better team out of the two who were promoted, to the point where we're considered to be the second best team in Ireland. In terms of transfers, the players who left us, Shane Gallagher was sold. He was unhappy, so we moved him on. There was a lot of players who left on a free at the end of the season. Their contracts expired. David Ryan, Cronin, Richie O'Brien was already agreed before I could get anywhere near doing a contract signing with him. He ended up with 19 goals for us last season, though, but he has moved on to Derry City. Everybody else, contracts expired, and I didn't renew them. I didn't really want them around, to be honest. Financially as well, I found something in the transfer centre, in the clauses actually. I had some clauses to sell. I've still got this one. They were from signings that took place before I got here. Ian Smith is still available, but it's worth 2.52k. I had some that were worth quite a lot of money. One was worth over £700,000. If we have a look at income for this season, it will say somewhere it comes from players sold, £890,000 we've made in player sales. Now, they were the clauses that I sold. And what that's done is it's actually put us back into the black. We're £407,000 in the bank. We've got a decent wage budget for the season, 16.7k. We're only spending about 13k of that, so we're well underneath that. We've got £844,000 in the transfer budget, though. But I've got all the players in that I want to sign at the minute. I'm a little bit short left back, but there's not really anything out there, not even in terms of loans. They all want 100% of players' wages, and we're talking Premier League players here, Championship players, so they're all on a lot of money that I just haven't got, basically. But we'll head back to the transfer centre. We'll go over the players who we've brought in. There's a few loans, there's a few signings. The first player in through the door was Fabio. Fabio is a Polish right/centre-back. He is coming from Parnavai, who are a Brazilian team. We've actually brought in a few players from the lower leagues in Brazil. 20 determination, good decision making, he's good bravery, concentration as well, jumping reach, he's decent stamina. He's actually considered to be the best right back at the club, slightly better than Alan Finnerty. He's actually starting today's game as a centre half, though. He's got some good attributes for that position as well. Maybe his aggression and his heading lets him down just a little bit, especially with his 17 jumping reach. He really should have much better heading than that. But 19 years old, came in for free. He's on 1.4k a week, which is quite a lot. But he does have some value to him. And obviously, he adds some depth to that squad as well. You can see them that we are training him to be a wing-back on support here. Next in through the door was a former player of ours. Formerly our left-back at Glenarvan. He was released by Glenarvan at the end of his contract. I've picked him up for £300 a week as a little bit of cover to the left back. The only other available left back at the club is Tyreek Wilson, and I wasn't overly impressed by Tyreek last season, but you can see Leahy, he's better in certain areas. He's better aerial, defensive and attacking, whereas Tyreek, mentally, technical, a little bit better. They're both early 30s as well, so they're both getting on a little bit. Tyreek is actually out of contract as well, but I cannot find another left back out there. There is the option to play Connor Cahill as a left back. We do have a few options at centre back, but Connor's crossing really lets him down. But it's potential there, and he doesn't like big matches either, which is a disappointment. There's potential there though. Next in was Manuel Schwab. I'm going to say Schwab. It's probably pronounced wrong. A young Austrian striker, 20 years old. Somebody who I actually paid a bit of money for. I think he cost us £20,000. Which is not a great deal. Indeed, it was £20,000. 28 goals in 71 appearances, though, for TWL Electra, who are probably an Austrian team. They are indeed. But Manuel has come in. He's got some really good attributes for an advanced forward. Dribbling, finishing, first touch, excellent. Passing lets it down a little bit, but technique off the ball is work rate. Jumping reach as well. He is 6'7", so there's the potential. How good's his heading? 13. So there's potential to possibly use him as a target forward. He's really, really good at it. Balance and bravery are the two that let him down there, and he's inconsistent and injury prone, which again, not great. Next up with 3 loans, we've brought Joe McLeod or McLeod. I think it's probably McLeod, isn't it? He's coming on loan from Manchester United as a centre midfielder. He is currently deployed in the deep line playmaking role, but if you have a look at the attributes that are highlighted for a deep line playmaker, the only one that actually lets him down is his positioning, which is quite poor. In fact, we might even get him training on his positioning. He's also inconsistent, but we're paying 1k a week wages for him. Initially, Man United were happy to let him come to us for nothing, but they wanted him to play as a Metzala, and obviously I don't use a Metzala in this system. So to keep Man United happy in terms of the position, I took that out, and they instantly wanted £1,000 a week towards his wages. It's okay, I don't mind that. Next in was David Cooper, on loan from Arsenal. David Cooper is a right-sided inverted winger, good left foot, brought in as a bit of rotation with Ryan Fletcher. If we compare him to Fletcher, again, better in certain areas, but Fletcher's also better in certain areas as well. Technically, Cooper is much, much better. Physically and mentally, Fletcher is much, much better. But a young 19-year-old American, they're valued between 17 and 26 million pounds. So he's in on loan from Arsenal. He's going to be, like I say, rotated with Fletcher. Like I say, a bit of rotation is good. We've got cover in every position, really. And finally, in was Michael King. He is a inverted winger on the left-hand side. This is, again, cover for Bert, possibly starting ahead of Bert. If we compare him with Bert here, he's probably slightly better. Again, better in certain areas, worse in others. Technically better, physically better, but Liam Bert is much better mentally. Bert is 33 years old though, but the young Scott has come in, again, 19-year-old on loan from Hibs. So again, some good attributes for that side, and the fact that he's right-footed as well, playing on that left-hand side, is really, really important to the way that we play. Club-wise, we're doing really well as a club. Like I say, we've got money in the bank. Got some good players come in. Duros and Liam Burt have been moved up to icons now. We did have a testimonial for Wilson while you were away. He's entering his 12th season here now at Bohemians, so a really, really good servant to the club. In terms of us as a manager, attribute-wise, we haven't changed too much. We are currently studying for our Continental A licence. Now that we've got some money in the bank, the board were happy to send me on that. But last season with Irish Division First Champions, I also won the First Division Manager of the Year, so we've picked up another personal award there. It takes us to 5 total now. Irish Senior Challenge Cup winners as well, which was great, and obviously guided Bohemians to an unbeaten season. So attribute-wise, once we get our Continental A here, we'll be improving our attributes. Our reputation hasn't increased with that First Division and Cup win. It's actually decreased over the course of last season. We were at 65%. So that's a little bit disappointing. We've got a 68% win ratio, which is really, really good for a manager. 3-star rep now, it's fairly good. Again, we're becoming quite a force to be reckoned with in terms of being a manager here. Port Talbot, for some reason in my save, the Welsh League keeps loading back in. I don't ask it to, but it does keep loading back in. Now, they have been on a little bit of a struggle. Obviously, since we left, they're consistent top 3 finishers, but TNS have just absolutely started dominating the Welsh League again. Since we won it, they've won it 5 times in a row now, if you include this season. But Port Talbot have finished in the top 3 every season, along with Connors Quay. So we really did do a good job at Port Talbot. I really don't know why the league keeps loading back in. Like it's not removing the Premier, but if I click on that, I can't confirm it. Like it is removing the Premier. So that's going in June. Hopefully it doesn't come back in. You may notice that we've got Latvia loaded as well. Latvia is the next nation on our list. They are also a summer league, I believe. But they've got a similar story over there where they've got one club or 2 clubs that pretty much dominate all the time in RFS and Riga. So it's going to be a difficult one to topple again. In fact, you can see Riga without a doubt the best club in Latvia. But that's not for today to worry about. That's a while away. Another player who I brought in, I didn't notice him on the transfers there, I must have signed him at the end of last season, is Kevin Kellogg. He is coming as a goalkeeper, formerly of Boston United, on a free transfer. I thought it was about time we got our own goalkeeper, to the point where we haven't actually brought in anybody in from Valerenga this season. It wasn't anybody who took my fancy, but he's quite good for the Irish Premier Division. Tonino is another one, a striker. I definitely brought all these in this season. I don't know why they're not showing. A young Brazilian, again, some good attributes as a striker. There was also Fabio, we've already talked about. There's another defender as well, Fabio Mendes, coming as a central defender. Angolan, believe it or not, signed from Marco 09, again on a free transfer. So there's a few good players in. Again, we've got another one with some really good jump and reach, 6'5", so we're quite a tall squad. We did manage to tie up Philip Doherty again to a contract as well, which is good. The only player without a contract now at the club is Tyreek Wilson and Ben Clancy, who is a young goalkeeper who I'm not really interested in giving a contract to. He's not on any wages. So that is that's the new squad, guys. That is where we're predicted to finish in the league, comfortably in second place. Now, we have had one competitive game already this season. It was the President's Cup. It's like the Charity Shield over in England. We were beaten 1-0 by Shelburne. Probably a little bit of a preview of what could happen in the season. I was encouraged by the fact it was only 1-0 though, although we didn't perform the greatest. But if we can actually topple, get some good results against Shelburne during the season, then we could be in with a chance of knocking the Premier Division off straight away. We do have our first game of the season though in the league, and it is against Sligo Rovers. So let's get into that as soon as we can. Lineup that we're going with today is going to be Kellogg in goal. It's going to be Finity starting as the right back, Fabio as centre back, Redshaw, and then Wilson as the left back. We'll stick. Do you know what? We're going to stick Cahill at left back. Let's see how he gets on. McLeod starting as the deep line playmaker alongside Softitch as the advanced playmaker. Still here from last season, Davos Softitch, a very, very good player. Cooper is starting as the inverted forward on the right hand side. Fletcher is somewhere. There he is. I'm going to start with Cooper for today. Burt on the left hand side. Up front is last season's 42 goal man in 31 appearances in Aaron Duros, the Englishman there. And then alongside him is going to be Tonino. for today's game. We are the favourites, but let's get into the game. Hopefully we can beat Sligo Rovers and get some early points on the board in the Premier Division. Of course, last time Bohemians were in the Premier Division, they finished bottom. So we don't want that to happen again, really, do we? We don't want a relegation on our CV. We'd like to win the league so we can move on as quickly as possible. We've still got a lot of work to do in this save. We're 3 nations ticked off out of 33, so still a long way to go. It'd be nice to tick that 4th nation off as soon as possible, and that means not getting stuck here with Shelburne being the dominant team. First highlight of the game, though, is Sligo Rovers with the ball. It's Healy in the centre of the park, finds O'Connell as his midfield partner. Healy switches the ball out wide towards Akper. Nakayama, the Japanese, sign-in. Evans, long diagonal ball towards Hall. It's a great ball. Hall's in behind here as well. It's an absolutely shocking effort, though, from Hall after a fantastic diagonal ball there from Evans to get him in behind. Well, that brings us to half time. It's not really been the start that I was looking for. 3 shots on target, but it's 0-0. It's not been the greatest of first halves, really. Fabio's played well. Liam Burt's played well as well. Cooper on a 6.5, not the greatest. We do have a lot of new players in this starting lineup, though, so there is some there's some bedding in to go through. Stuff like that does happen in Football Manager. I believe it's coded into the game that there is some bedding through to go through. We do have a kick-off highlight at the start of the second half, though. Hopefully my team talk has worked some magic. It's Fabio into McLeod. Fabio again finds Affinity. Affinity again. It's got McLeod square. McLeod with the ball now finds Softitch. The 4 attackers have ahead of him. It's Cooper. Cooper gets a little bit lucky there. Giroux. Tonino on his debut. What a shocking finish. That was a golden opportunity. Straight to another highlight, though. Cooper jumps underneath the ball. Finity picks it up, finds Tonino. It's Giroux advancing towards the penalty area. He's passed it back to their goalkeeper, Fahati. That was a really, really poor effort again, this time from Giroux. Free kick, deep one for Sligo Rovers. O'Connell over it. It's headed clear by Fabio. Good header. O'Connell gets a second chance, though. It's towards Mata. Inside the penalty area, he pulls it across to Akper. Akper looking to turn. Akper gets the shot away. Austin Akper with the goal for Sligo Rovers, and we find ourselves behind on our return to the Premier Division here in Ireland. A little up against the run of play as well. If we're having a look at the match stats, Shelburne have taken the lead as well, I've just noticed. It's time to make some substitutions, though. It's obviously something's not working here. I'm going to bring Tonino off. I'm going to bring Schwab on. Do you know what? The players aren't actually playing that bad. Let's get Fletcher on, though. Fletcher, he's earned his place in this squad after last season. He had a really, really good season, scoring over 20 goals. But we've got 30 minutes to turn this around, having been the better team. And this could be that opportunity. 66 on the clock. Evans with a defensive free kick for Sligo Rovers. Looking along towards Mata, but it's well won by Fabio. Only as far as O'Connell. O'Connell's got it over the top towards Mata. He's in behind us. This is for 2. And he's put it wide, thankfully for us. Some more really poor finishing there. But is this the opportunity we're looking for? Cahill, Softitch. Cahill with the ball into the box towards Schwab, the 6'7" man, headed clear by Nakayama. McLeod from the edge of the area. Great effort there from McLeod, but it's gone just over the bar, and we are running out of time in this game to get anything from it. This would be a poor start for us to lose ground already. As Asagi with the throw-in for Sligo Rovers, Lawless. Asagi switches the play over towards O'Connell. Nakayama's going to get it, though. He's got Akper outside of him. Again, we've nearly conceded a goal there, and having been the much better team in this game, we're struggling to get anything out of it. We're into the final 10 minutes. Ball looking for Schwab. It's cut out, though. Evans over the top towards Lawless again. It's another good header, but only as far as Healy. Burt gets back with a fantastic challenge, but Hall picks up the second ball. Looking to take on the makeshift left back in Cahill. It's a good ball into the box towards Mata. Good save there from Kellogg. Do we have the chance to go up the other end? Kellogg goes along towards Fletcher. Heads it on. Giroux turns his man, heading towards the penalty area, finds Schwab. Schwab with a great little through ball to Burt. This is the opportunity, and Liam Burt levels the game for Bohemians. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. What a fantastic little ball round the corner there from Schwab to get Burt in. Really good play by Giroux. Finds his strike partner in Schwab. Great little ball around the corner. Burt with a fantastic finish. It's gone through the keeper, really. Can we go and get a winner, though? Can we go and get a winner? Let's give the boys a big old shout. We've got a corner here to be taken by Affinity. Is this the opportunity? Affinity goes deep towards Schwab. Oh, Schwab's put it wide. That was Giroux, actually, who got his head on it. One thing I haven't actually done for a long time in this save is set up the corner tactic, the near post corner tactic, which works very, very well. Now, I'm actually quite disappointed to only scrape a point out of that. Having a look at the match stats, although we've only hit the target 6 times, we were the better team, and we deserved to win. Impressed with Fabio, impressed with Softitch, and I'm impressed with Burt in that game, though. I'm disappointed. I'm going to tell them I'm disappointed. We should have won. We should have won, really. And we've lost ground already to Shelburne, which is not a great start. Not a great start for us. How many games are there in the Irish Premier Division? There are 36. So we're coming back after 12 games. 12 games. Now, obviously, I've got a fair bit of football to play through in that time. So 12 games probably brings us to a roundabout here. We might even stretch it out a little bit and go to Shelburne. Because that's probably going to be the title decider. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Shelburne's probably a little bit too far away in terms of doing a third of the season. It's going to be one of these teams around here. We'll have a look at how the league table is. I believe Cork are currently in second, so it could be Cork City. But yeah, guys, thank you as always for watching. Please remember to hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. It does help me out. And welcome to the Irish Premier Division, Season 2 with Bohemians. Hopefully we can mount a title challenge, and hopefully this season goes well for us, and we can move on to Latvia. But guys, thank you as always for being here. I do appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next episode.